place like Fredericton, people wear their hearts on their sleeves. And tonight, many of those hearts are breaking. At a vigil not far from the scene of the shooting, residents gather to comfort and be comforted, struggling, like so many here, to comprehend the horror that unfolded just hours ago.
Yeah, it's quite disturbing, and all those poor people get shot.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking because you don't hear too much about this stuff here in Fredericton.
Nope, this is a quiet town. Nothing like this happens here. It's quite shocking, actually.
At the city's main hospital, where a still unknown number of victims are being treated for injuries, uniformed police and their supporters formed an honor guard.
And during this most difficult time, and this dark time, I can say with certainty that the citizens of Fredericton were being exceptionally well served, and that those that were killed this morning were taken very good care of. And I couldn't be prouder of the men and women that serve the city. And I want to reassure the public that we will continue to do so in the coming days and months and years ahead.
Outside police headquarters, a growing tribute of flowers and messages of support meant to heal a gaping wound.
We were watching this morning the events as they unfolded, and our hearts are broken.
We just wanted to pay our respects. This is awful. Things like this don't happen in Fredericton.
But they do. And today, with his city in shock, Mayor Mike O'Brien called for unity in the face of overwhelming tragedy.
In this community, we grieve together, but we'll heal together as well. Today, we saw something tragic. In the near future, we'll see the best of our community come forward. We always do.
Harry, there are echoes here, obviously, of Moncton. It's impossible now to talk about Fredericton without talking about Moncton.
Without reference to that terrible tragedy, how could there not be that in the backs of people's minds on a day like today? Of course, 4 years ago in Moncton, 5 RCMP officers shot, 3 killed, 2 wounded. It was a terrible event, not just for Moncton, but for this whole province, for that matter, for the Atlantic region of Canada. So today, when we began reporting on this, that was the dread that maybe there were more. Of course, there were still people injured in hospital. We have no idea what their condition is. We'll find out that in the coming days. But yes, in the backs of people's minds, that terrible tragedy in Moncton. And I think we're going to see an outpouring of support from that city, but also an outpouring of grief here as it really hits home what people have been through with this experience, Adrian.
Well, you, my friend, have been through a lot today. We've watched you all day long. Some of those terribly poignant scenes at the hospital of those police officers lining and saluting and standing at attention when the chief arrived, waiting to address her and supporting each other. What has struck you about this day? What
you realize in the progress of events through a day like this, even as a reporter, what strikes me is how this is a city with the heart of a town. This is a small, intimate place. And no matter how big it gets, you realize there are very few degrees of separation between people. You talk to people and they tell you, yeah, I know someone in the RCMP. You know, my brother-in-law is in the city police force. So this is close to them, too close to home. And when you see events like the police officers lining up in front of the hospital, it's very, very emotional. People feel these events here, whereas in a much larger city, they might not. But as I say, Fredericton is a city with the heart of a town.
Right. Well, this is a country of neighborhoods, too. Yeah. Too many neighborhoods going through this.
Going through this.
Thank you, Harry.